As we round the final corner to start off round 3 of the TBZ86 Cup here at Long Beach. We're gonna have an exciting race here, ladies and gentlemen. As we go up to the start finish line, Crax and Darkmoon is gonna take it away for here as we start round 3 of the TBZ86 Cup. Here we go. Someone's holding back because he wants to see how much of an advantage he can get with this chaos that's going to happen right here into turn 1. Is Sunken gonna do anything brave, anything daft? We head into the first corner of the track. Clean so far. A little bit of a bump from Sunken when it comes to average driver. Average driver, by the way, is going to be Narcissist 99, by the way. So when I say average driver, it's Narcissist. Looks like Nighthawk fell a little bit back from Narcissist. Sunken tried to go on the inside, but did not make it work. As we go into this next section, Stray's already on the first person camera. I have to stay with... I'll start with Crax. Actually, Darkmoon actually got into first place. Wow, Darkmoon has passed Crax at the beginning of this race. Darkmoon actually has been showing a lot of pace recently, and we'll, I wonder if he's going to give Crax a absolute dogfight today with this 30-lap race being here. Sorry, 29-lap race. But we know how Crax's driving style is. He's very aggressive, and he loves his dive bombs into the corners. Is he going to try to go for it? No, he thinks better of it. Follows Darkmoon out of the corner, or maybe even better yet, they are going to be working together just to see if they can try to get away from Snowlind, which we know Snowlind will be on an absolute charge trying to catch up to the pack. I wish, what's with the quality? There we go. Come on. Gonna keep an eye on this battle though right now from Darkmoon. Oh, little push from Crax into turn 1. Crax does slow down for Darkmoon. I gotta turn this down. A bunch of chaos going right now into the hairpin corner. Everyone's bunched up. I think that makes Snowlind actually catch up to the pack quickly. Oh yeah. Most definitely. Snowlind is gonna start being on the charge. He's starting to head towards Sunken right now for P6. After I think Snowlind gave like a 10-second advantage to the field in front of him, but with that move by Crax against Darkmoon and Crax pinning Darkmoon against the barrier, that definitely makes Snowlind catch up to the pack quickly and efficiently as he passes Sunken for P6. Already on the second lap of the race, but Sunken looks like he's trying to fight for it. Snowlind knows. He's looking back. He's making sure Sunken doesn't do anything too daft as Snowlind takes the inside of the hairpin and secures his spot up into P6. Snowlind, you know, a very patient driver, very quick as well. We already know this throughout the whole TBZ86 Cup series. He's learning that patience. He wants to learn that one-on-one battling against other people, and hence why Snowlind starts from the back of the pack. But with that being said, we're going to keep an eye on this battle as Crax dives on the inside into turn 1. Great move by him. Are we going to go side by side into this little hairpin corner? Darkmoon 6 on the inside. Hits Crax a little bit, making Crax lose that momentum as Stray decides to join the party and nudges Crax against the wall, trying to go up to P2. A little bit of argy-bargy going on right now. But it does give Darkmoon the advantage to go up ahead a little bit. I think Crax was a bit too ambitious with that move. Stray hitting Crax from behind. That's a wild statement by me. But we absolutely got some carnage going on right now for P3. Nighthawk manages to pass Stray. Nighthawk is trying to go on a pass against Crax. Crax knows and defends the inside line, trying to compromise the line into the corner. Nighthawk goes way wide. Passes Stray gets passed. This is absolute chaos right now. Snowlind's already up into 4th. I missed that. Hold on. I gotta refresh this. Sorry, guys. Boom, 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 boom. Come on. We see Snowlind side by side from with Nighthawk right now. Nighthawk is new to the TBZ86 Cup series, but as you can see from the experience that Snowlind brings to this series and racing in general, he makes it look easy as we head into lap 4 of this 30-lap race. I got a lot of action so far with Crax and Stray. Snowlind making up, you know, positions as he goes along with this. Darkmoon actually pulling a bit of a gap against Crax and Ssssstray right now. Maybe this might be the best chance for Darkmoon to get a win, but he also knows that Snowlind is going to be quick around here. Considering Snowlind got P1 for the lap time by 9/10 of a second over Crax, and he's already at a 20 flat right now for Snowlind, but we'll have to see if Dirty Air will have to play a part of it, or is there going to be a bit of a teamwork with Crax and Ssssstray to prevent Snowlind from passing by. Yeah, we'll have to see this, but it looks like also Crax is slowly catching up to Darkmoon, so we might be seeing a bit of bunching going on within the next couple of laps. Stray's right in the back of Crax. Stray's like, listen, buddy, I want to try to get past, but he also knows the pressure is building up with Snowlind, as Snowlind is eerily creeping with the draft right now against Ssssstray. Gaining. Is he gonna try to go for a move? No, Ssssstray knows and goes defensive on the inside line. Is Snowlind gonna be able to pass right here? Ssssstray goes a little bit deep into the corner, but I think Snowland's not gonna be able to make any passes right here, heading to the chicane. Oh, sorry, the hairpin, my bad. But we'll have to see if Ssssstray can hold Snowlind up, so Crax can go a little bit ahead to catch up to Darkmoon, but let's see if there's any team play. As Ssssstray loses a bit of momentum out of that corner, while Snowlind very smooth with his inputs. He's going to go for the switchback right now. He's attempting it. Ssssstray did hit the wall. He loses that momentum and that speed. Going around the outside. Oh my gosh, that was way too close, but Snowlind made it work. Wow, what a move. What a move for third position for Snowlind. Absolutely fantastic move against Ssssstray. Ssssstray, I think, hit the inside tires and absolutely lost all his speed. That's why he's a bit back away from Snowlind right now. But with that being said, we're gonna have to keep an eye on this battle for P1 right now, because Crax is gonna be right on the back of Darkmoon. But are we gonna see a bit of team play when it comes to Darkmoon and Crax against Snowlind? They do have a bit of a buffer with distance when it comes to being a bit of a distance away from Snowlind. But we've seen how Snowlind is down the straightaway. Oh, God. Oh, okay. There we go. What am I hearing for audio? Oh, Snowlind's. We'll have to see as this progresses. So far, we're just gonna take a chill. We're gonna take a breather for a second, ladies and gentlemen. This has been round 3 so far. This is round 3 of the TBZ86 Cup Racing Series, presented by the Boys Racing and More Sports. It's a pleasure to have you here. My name's Alan Endope. I've been doing this for quite a bit. Oh, Crax hits the tires on the inside and hits the wall, losing all that speed and being right on the back of Darkmoon. But is this going to be able to get Snowlind to capitalize on Crax's error, try to catch up to him? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I need to give you guys some audio as we let Snowlind drive us into lap number 7 of the race. Darkmoon is slowly backing into Crax right now, or Crax is slowly catching up to Darkmoon right now. We do have Ssssstray that did lose a lot of ground here in the top right hand corner, and also is making a lot of mistakes. He just hit the inside barrier and then hit the outside barrier. But we're gonna keep an eye on this battle right now for third place. How's this gonna work? Oh, that's even worse. Oh my gosh. Oh no. 480, come on. Give me something, Snowlind, please. There you go. Yeah, decent. Yep, Snowlind's already on the back of Crax. Yep, Snowlind's already on the back of Crax, heading into lap 8 of this race. But based on how much speed Snowlind has been showing around this track, I don't think we're going to have to wait long for him to go up to P2. As you see, the draft and the straight line speed that Snowlind has is way better compared to Crax. Crax makes an error on the inside little bump right there into turn 1. Makes another error, hits that wall, but also bumps Snowlind, which makes him lose his speed. I know Crax is going to be absolutely defending like Fernando Alonso, like an absolute line right now to prevent Snowlind from passing. But with all that pressure building up for Crax, how much can he really do without making too many mistakes to get Snowlind to catch up? I think Crax might have hit the wall again heading into that corner. I think this might give Snowlind the opportunity to catch up and try to pass him on the start-finish straight. We'll have to see, but we know defensive Crax gets with his driving. But with that being said, if Crax and Snowlind start fighting, that makes Darkmoon at least drive a little bit ahead, but we'll also have to see how Darkmoon's pace evolves over time. We unfortunately don't have a POV of for Darkmoon, as we see Snowlind go side by side of Crax. Gonna make the move pretty quickly as Crax gonna heavily defend around the outside. Oh my gosh, he makes it work. Wow. Such defense against Crax. When he makes it work, he makes it work. Absolutely clean racing by these two. You love to see it here in the TBZ86 Cup here at Long Beach for round 3 of the series. But question is, oh, Snowlind hit the bump on the inside, but did he do that on purpose? I have no idea. Let's see, go through this corner. Is he gonna hit the wall again? Nope. Ooh, Crax barely scrapes the wall. As Sunken actually goes up to 6th place. Hold on a second. What happened to freaking average driver? I guess he missed a checkpoint or something, made a mistake. Who knows? Unfortunately, I don't have that many POVs today, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm terribly sorry if it's not the best for camera angles. But as we see, Crax oversteered out of that corner, and Snowlind's going to go on the inside, heading into lap 10. Absolutely making it work, but we know how Crax is with his dive bombs. Is he going to go for a dive bomb into turn 1? We'll have to see as we go up to turn 1. Snowlind knows. Nope. Beautifully defends the inside line, preventing Crax from trying to get through. I wish Crax's POV wasn't a few seconds behind, unfortunately. But we're actually going to stay on to Crax's POV for a hot second since he did get passed by Snowlind. See if Crax can really do anything. He's at a 19-1 right now. But as you can see, that straight line speed from Snowlind is that tune, whatever Snowlind has on for that tune, is absolutely working wonders for him right now because they're both catching up to Darkmoon pretty quickly. And we'll have to see what happens. A lot of smoke preventing the drivers from really seeing into the corner. But that's Forza for you and your smoke physics. But I think Snowlind is going to get P1 pretty soon. Darkmoon doesn't look like he has a pace over Snowlind. Crax is, just got passed by Snowlind pretty, effortlessly. I'm not gonna lie, from Snowlind, he made it look like he's in a freaking karting series. No, he's in a F1 car against other people in karting go-karts. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. As we see, heading into turn 1, Snowlind's gonna be right on the back of Darkmoon. And Darkmoon knows that pressure is gonna build up. Like you see, going to the... Ooh! Beautiful move. Goes around the outside. Oh, too wide. Oh gosh, still too wide heading to the corner. Oh my gosh, Darkmoon's trying to shove Snowlind into the wall. Is Snowlind gonna hold his line heading into this corner? No. Oh, no. Oh, yes, he does. Darkmoon on the outside, holding it together, trying not to touch and bumping each other to make each other go into mistakes. Crax is back. He's on the inside line of Snowlind. We gotta fight for P1, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going back to Crax's POV for a second. With that little bump that Darkmoon and Snowlind did, it makes Crax come back into this fight as Crax goes on the inside of Snowlind, but Snowlind with the momentum around that corner prevents Crax from making him do anything. As we head into lap 12, Crax hits the wall, makes a mistake out of that left corner, losing all that momentum, unfortunately. As we're going to head back to Snowland's POV. See if Snowland's going to try to attempt to make a move into turn 1, or is he going to be patient for that middle section? Let's see here. Darkmoon is going to do the best that he can to defend, while also trying to get Crax to join in back on this battle to try to see if, you know, Crax can do anything to shake up Snowland. Try to get him to force Snowland to take an odd line into a different section, but also Crax is falling behind, unfortunately. Beautiful racing so far, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to hit halfway through this race already, with just about under 20 minutes into this race. With the amount of action you see from this series, you know, it pretty much, this race flies on by. You see Snowland so closely getting to Darkmoon. Darkmoon going a little wide out of that corner, compromising his line. Defends the inside line against Snowland, but is Snowland going to do anything around this hairpin corner? Try to go for the switchback? No. Darkmoon prevents that from happening. But I think Snowland is going to secure right here, because we know how the straight line speed is against Darkmoon and Crax right now. And plus, you know, that Darkmoon is caught in the air. Darkmoon with the aggressive defense, I'm not going to lie. A little bit of aggressive defense from Darkmoon right there. I think we might have to see some racing stewards after that. I'm not going to lie. It was a bit aggressive when it comes to defense, especially since no one was trying to pass. So did Crax just miss a checkpoint? No, okay, never mind. I don't know what happened. I think someone else missed a checkpoint or something. But yeah, a bit of a controversial moment right there, Darkmoon. A little bit of an aggressive block, as Snowland was trying to pass arbitrously on the outside of that corner. But you know what? We progressed into the race. We still see Darkmoon, Snowland battling it out, with Crax lingering in the background. If Darkmoon can heavily defend Snowland, which he looks like he's trying to at least. Is there anything that's gonna happen in this corner? Oh, hold their lines, hold their lines. Oh, Darkmoon does squeeze out Snowland into that corner. Beautiful defense by Darkmoon right there. Snowland wasn't backing out. But also, he does get some oversteer out of that last corner, so Snowland gonna try to attempt to make another move. As we head into lap 14 of this 30-lap race, almost halfway there. We'll have to see, is Darkmoon gonna do anything bash? Yep, he's swerving around, a bit aggressive on defense, but Snowland is getting tired of it and goes in the inside into turn 1. Beautiful move by Snowland, but is Darkmoon gonna do anything rash? Nope. And Snowland has secured P1 on lap 14. As we see a bit of battling going back here as well, but we're going to keep an eye on this battle right now between Snowland and Darkmoon. But I think, I'm not gonna lie, it's all wrapped up right now, unfortunately, because Snowland is an absolute machine on this track right now. He's already at an 18.5 right now for his personal best, while Crax is only at a 19.1. 19.2 for Stray, and Harris is at 21.2. So yeah, Snowland absolutely making this look like clockwork. Let's head over to Sunken and Average Driver right now. The Narcissist is Average Driver, by the way, whenever I say their name, by the way. So that's why I'm letting you guys know. Take a look on this battle right now. Yeah, it was definitely questionable, imagine, for the defense with Darkmoon against Snowland, so we might have to see the stewards, or if Snowland's going to drive off into the sunset, then, you know, maybe Snowland won't be too bothered by it, as Sunken is honking his horn right now with a GT logo in Forza Horizon 5, a Gran Turismo logo. That's kind of wild from Sunken, not going to lie. But I'm going to keep an eye on this, see if there's any battles that's going to happen with Sunken and Average Driver. Sunken does go a bit deep into that hairpin corner and making Average Driver have better momentum out of that corner. Yeah, I think Sunken's just there to have fun at this point. Nothing wrong with having fun in the TBZ86 Cup series. Heading to the battle for P2 right now, because Darkmoon and Crax, I feel like, are going to have a great fight heading all the way to the latter half back half of this race. So we're going to keep an eye on this, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Alan Endope, and I've been gladly enjoying broadcasting this so far. We're here at Long Beach in Florida on Forza Horizon 5. It's a recreation of Long Beach. Absolutely amazing recreation, I will add. But yeah, I will admit, I'll also say this right now. If you do want to join this series, we're only round 3 into, I think, there's 8 rounds of this. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. But it's still open registration. So anyone can join any sort of skill level. And if you're willing to learn something new about your racecraft, or you want to race against other people that you've never raced before, as Crax goes on the inside, then this series is definitely going to be the right choice for you. Oh, Crax absolutely almost flips over that little hairpin. That was a bit too audacious, Crax, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, also stay after the race, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a bit of an announcement happening at the end of this that I'm pretty excited to present to you guys. But you know what, for now, you're gonna see this battle of ramp up between Crax and Darkmoon. I will admit, Stray's lingering in the background. What's Stray's time look like again? I think he's like a 19.2. Yeah, 19.2 by Stray right now. So he's lingering in the back. He's, if Crax and Darkmoon do fight aggressively against each other, we could probably see a 3-way fight for second place. But we'll have to see. Everyone's just kind of cruising through the laps right now, getting the race momentum. The consistency and all that stuff too ironed out. But it looks like Darkmoon is actually quicker than Crax. I'm not gonna lie, Darkmoon has been showing some amazing pace as of recently. And this is my first ever time seeing Darkmoon actually race in a competitive setting like this throughout the season. And I'm not gonna lie, he's as fast as me, I think, in my opinion. And I think that says a lot, though, of like where my skill level is at with these people. Like if I was racing right here today, I'd probably be fighting amongst Crax and Darkmoon and all that stuff too. So yeah, Darkmoon's been showing amazing pace throughout the season so far. They did earn the hardest charger award for round 2 at Sebring when they did the 1-hour endurance race last time out. That was a really good race. And we do have the race posted on the TBZ86 Cup YouTube channel. Unfortunately, I don't have the link right now because YouTube says that channel doesn't exist for whatever reason when I put in the search bar. But thanks, YouTube. Appreciate it. With that being said, I'm just going to keep churning down the laps. I'm going to let you guys listen to the in-game audio real quick. And I'll be right back. All right, perfect timing. Perfect timing as we see Darkmoon is actually starting to struggle a little bit and falling into the back of Crax right now. As we're heading into the second section of the track. And Crax is all over the back of Darkmoon right now. Gonna start applying pressure, see if Darkmoon is gonna make a mistake. And we know how aggressive Crax is with his attacks when it comes to attacking people into corners with his dive bomb moves. Is he gonna go for it here? Oh, he thought about it. He thought about it, but Darkmoon is holding out the momentum throughout that section as we're heading into section 3 right now. Last hairpin corner before we go into the start-finish straight right now. But if these two keep battling, we do see Stray slowly appearing on the map on the bottom left. He's slowly catching up to these two. So if these two keep fighting, we could see a 3-way fight with just about 10 laps remaining in this race already, absolutely flying by. Oh, oh my god, Crax almost made that work, but Darkmoon with the momentum into the first corner prevents Crax from making a dive bomb into turn 1. Now the thing is, you don't want to go side by side as we're heading to that hairpin corner, turns 2 and 3 back there, because it is very risky going side by side there. But with that being said, we got Darkmoon, Crax fighting. Crax did hit that inside curb a little bit too aggressively, which made his car go out wide. But also Darkmoon's also trying to push as hard as he can to get away from Crax. Crax has amazing momentum because Darkmoon really scrubbed a lot of speed. Darkmoon is being aggressive with his defense, like he was waving down the straight with what he did at Snowlind, preventing Crax from making a switchback heading into this last hairpin corner, heading into lap 20 of this race. 21, sorry. But we'll have to see as this battle commences, or sorry, ramps up as we start counting down the laps. 9 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Even still, we only had a grid of 7 people, but we still see a lot of action here in the TBZ86 Cup series. Oh, wow, I'm surprised he actually didn't hit that little fountain right there. Wow. Impressive driving by these two, showing some clean, fair racing. There's some questionable defense by Darkmoon here and there, but we'll have to see what the racing stewards have to say about it. If anyone does want to do a race control incident about it. If that was me, he'd be in the wall, not gonna lie. Yeah, fair enough, imagine. But also, you know, when are you gonna race in this series? Not gonna lie. Because I could see you being in second place, imagine. I'm not gonna lie about that. So we head into lap 22. Darkmoon and Crax. You can pretty much put a blanket over these two right now with how close they are. Is Darkmoon gonna still do some pretty crazy defense, or is Crax gonna try to be bold and dive on the inside? Oh, he goes bold. He goes bold, dives on the inside. But Darkmoon still, with the outside momentum advantage that he gets into turn 1, prevents Crax from making that move on the inside. Beautiful defensive driving for Darkmoon, except for weaving on the straights. I will take a note of that. This battle is ramping up though, but I am noticing, actually not much. For a second I thought Sunken was on the back of Average Driver. My bad. Oh, you can tell they're pushing it hard because they're not trying to hit that left wall. We'll have to see what happens though, because you know they're gonna start making mistakes. They're still gonna be heavily aggressive against each other. And Stray is somewhat lingering on the back of these two. He's like probably a good 2 seconds away from this battle right now, but he's slowly getting there. He's slowly catching up. Let's check his lap time actually. What's his lap time? Oh, 19.196. So yeah, Stray's 0.06 seconds, 6/100ths of a second behind Crax's personal best time right now. So Stray and Crax with very, very similar lap times as, oh, Darkmoon goes a little bit deep into the hairpin. Crax makes that move stick on the inside. Went side by side, a little argy-bargy between these two right now. Crax shoves Darkmoon wide. I'm not gonna lie, I would give that position back, Crax. I'm not gonna lie, because that was a bit too much of a shove, in my opinion, against Darkmoon. But yeah, as you saw from that move that Crax did against Darkmoon, Darkmoon made a mistake or went way too deep into that hairpin corner. Turns 2 and 3, goes a little bit wide, and Crax seizes the opportunity and goes on the inside line of Darkmoon since the door was open there. The question is, can we see Darkmoon try to make another move against Crax? I unfortunately do not have the POV of Darkmoon, but I can go into Stray's POV for a hot second. Even though he's in first-person camera, he's not on the back of these two. I think if Stray was like a good 2/10 faster, he would be able to catch up to this group. No, to the duo that's rocking the front right now. Oh, sorry, rocking to P2 and P3 right now. But with that clean air, I think it'll give Crax the advantage to fully push his car to get his Toyota GR86 Cup car to get away from Darkmoon as we wind down these last 6 laps of round 3 of the TBZ86 Cup series here at Long Beach, Florida. A street track. It's a very simplistic track in my opinion, but still a fun track to do. You got the walls around you. You gotta be very careful not to hit them, or you will lose that momentum. But yeah, it looks like Darkmoon is going to start falling behind. If you are enjoying this, drop a follow. I'm almost at 500 followers here on Twitch. And I would love to try to hit 500 followers by the end of this year. It would mean so much to me, and I appreciate each and every one of you that does decide to turn up to the stream. It's a pleasure to have you here. Really is a pleasure. Yep. Getting into the last 5 laps of this race, Snowlind starting from the back of the pack absolutely charges his way up to P1, putting in a dominant performance over P2 Crax right now after Crax had to fight Darkmoon for it. Darkmoon in 3rd after some suspicious defense by Darkmoon. I'm not gonna lie about that. But Darkmoon's in P3, P4 is Stray, Nighthawk is in P5, Average Driver in P6. And Sunken in dead last. Let's check the other lap times real quick. So we got a 1:29 actually. I think yeah, Crax improved his lap time last time around. What's 18.389 from Snowlind. So Snowlind's pretty much cruising along right now, probably finding consistent pace that he wants to work with when it comes to his overall racing stuff that he does. So 18.3, absolutely fantastic lap by Snowlind. We have a 19.196 from Stray. That is slowly catching up to Darkmoon, I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Stray, by the way, for rocking the first person POV, by the way, and staying consistent with it and quick with it as well. Gotta give mad respects to Stray when it comes to this. And let's see how Sunken is with a 21 flat in last. Gonna give some you know, some showing to Sunken right now in P7. The leader of the Horizon Endurance Championship. I know I participated in one of the events. It was decently fun, I'm not gonna lie. He did a multi-class event also recently. But yeah, Sunken just cruising along Long Beach right now on a nice Saturday drive with his livery, with his Gran Turismo livery and his troll face in the front on the hood. I think he's listening to me right now, hence why he did that. Yep, just cruising along with 4 laps to go. I'm gonna get off the POV as we head to I'll keep with Stray's POV for a second because he is slowly starting to catch up to Darkmoon. But yeah, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, after this, stick around for a good few more seconds because we do have a bit of a surprise for you guys with what I've been developing behind the scenes and the start of a new project that I've been working on that I'm really excited to show you guys. Oh, Stray, that was close. Stray almost yeets himself into the wall. He almost lost a lot of speed with that. But yeah, if you guys do want to join us for this racing series, TBZ86 Cup, presented by the Boys Racing and Motorsports, check out the TBZ server, the lodge, with the leader TBZ Frostbite that does streams every Wednesday and Thursday. He won't be doing it this upcoming week because it's Thanksgiving week. But an overall pleasant guy, wonderful to chat with about cars and stuff like that too. I am a part of a co-host with the TBZ After Hours podcast that me and him do. It's a ton of fun. But yeah, with that being said, we're starting to get down to the last couple laps. I'm just gonna do one more quick refresh of each stream real quick, just to see where everyone's at for their stuff. Nope, Snowlind hits the wall a little bit. I saw the mistake up there. But that being said, he's also... I wonder if he's gonna try holding himself back because he knows he has to pass Sunken. Actually, speaking of that, Sunken, I'm sorry, I'm getting ready to stream by the dog. Boop. As we're gonna watch these last couple laps with Snowlind, absolutely putting in a great performance by him. From starting from last. And considering how fast Snowlind is overall, you know, I'm not surprised that he does this well. Crax hit the wall on the bottom right there. I saw that, Crax. But everyone's pretty much spread out now. Oh god, Sunken, what's Sunken in to do? There we go. Gonna head on to these last 2 laps of round 3 here at Long Beach. Awesome racing by Crax and Darkmoon. Ssssstray definitely was trying to push to, you know, catch up to Darkmoon and Crax when they were fighting. Snowlind also having some fighting in there with Darkmoon as well. Darkmoon with a suspicious defense here and there, I'm not gonna lie. But as Snowlind makes his way within these last 2 laps, trying to pass Sunken to see if Snowlind can lap some traffic. But is Sunken gonna give him a hard time? No, wow. Sunken actually lets Snowlind pass. I'm actually impressed with that. Go on, Sunken. He's learning. He's learning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a miracle. But with that being said, starting to wind these laps down. Absolutely, yeah, Snowlind's way far ahead compared to everyone else. I'm not sure if Stray will be able to catch up to Darkmoon, unfortunately. It looks like Stray does not have the time. F Sunken. Yep, F in the chat for Sunken for letting Snowlind through. I'm just joking, yeah. We like to race fair around here, by the way. We like to race fair. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're on to the last lap of round 3 here at Long Beach. It's been a pleasure broadcasting this series so far, and I can't wait to see how the rest of the series goes on. Snowlind absolutely making it a dominant performance by him when it comes to each race that he's participated in so far after starting from the back of the pack. Absolutely dunking on everyone in this whole entire field, but you know, how can you blame him? He's almost a full second faster than everyone else here. Putting in the work, putting in the practice, doing his own tunes for the Toyota TBZ86 Cup car. And this is amazing to watch for the Season 1 championship leader so far. Heading into round 4. But we're going to see as Snowlind rounds these final couple of corners. Going to make it 3 in a row for Snowlind as he rounds the final hairpin corner. Snowlind, after a dominant run throughout this whole race, starting from back of the pack, he crosses the finish line to take P1 at Long Beach. Congratulations to Snowlind. Great job. Let me get a screenshot with this real quick. Hopefully it doesn't disconnect. Actually, I can probably get one from Crax. Crax, P2. Starting from P2, staying in P2. Actually, well, no, he started P1, but still, great showing from Crax as well. Great drive. Darkmoon is also going to round it out with a P3. That's your podium, ladies and gentlemen. Can I get... Okay, perfect. 5, 4, 3. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.